Hi, I'm Roger Barget, General Manager of Computer Vision at AWS, and I'm pleased to have Peter Silvio, CTO of Shutterstock AI, join me today. It's remarkable to think that just a few years ago, researchers rewired the way that computers see, handing computers the gift of sight. And it marked the first time in history that a machine could identify objects better than a human, giving machines a new superpower. Today, computer vision can transform every camera lens into an eye that can understand what it sees. And we believe that computer vision is the kind of disruption that only comes around once in a generation. Our mission at AWS is to make this technology accessible to all AWS customers with no ML expertise required. The services that I will discuss today are essentially platforms that innovators, like Peter and his team at Shutterstock AI, can use to delight their customers and build world-changing disruptions. Machine learning itself is one of the most disruptive technologies we will encounter in our generation. And today, more than 100,000 customers use AWS for machine learning. We have customers of all sizes, from startups to Fortune 100 companies in every market segment using AWS for machine learning. Indeed, the vast majority of machine learning being done in the cloud today is being done on AWS. And new customers just starting to look at machine learning ask me what has contributed to AWS being the preferred provider for AI ML, especially for computer vision. One of the reasons that customers choose AWS is that we provide the broadest and most complete set of machine learning and artificial intelligence services for builders of all levels of expertise, from experts to developers to business analysts that simply want to invoke an API call. This ensures that customers can achieve their business outcomes. And we continue to improve all of these services at a rapid click. The services that I'm going to discuss today are at the top layer, our AI services layer. And these services allow developers to easily add intelligence to any application without needing ML skills. These are pre-trained models that provide ready-made intelligence for your applications and workflows, accessible through a simple API call that extract meaning from documents, from videos, from images, and help bring computer vision to the edge. Another reason that customers select AWS for machine learning is that we work backwards from our customers. Over 90% of the features that we add in any given year come directly from our customers and their needs. We've added over 250 features this year alone, and we still have many more to announce here at re:Invent. And we work backwards from the business problem that a customer is trying to address, and we add features to our service to ensure that our customers will succeed for these use cases. And by doing this, we minimize the time it takes our customers to see value from their ML investments. Another reason that customers select AWS is that our services are regularly appearing at the top of analyst industry rankings and independent benchmarks. IDC just this month placed AWS AI/ML computer vision services as the leader in their most recent MarketScape report that was published earlier this month. IDC carefully evaluated the functionality of our computer vision services, especially as they related to the ability to improve user productivity, the end user experience, and the ability for these services to support decision recommendations. And indeed, it was by working backwards from customers understanding all the functionality that we had to add to ensure our customers could have the success that IDC recognized in their report. Let's have a look at a few of these services. Amazon Rekognition is a machine learning service that uses deep learning to analyze images and videos. It can identify content in an image, it can identify scenes, it can identify celebrities, it will do facial analysis, facial collection analysis. There's a myriad of APIs that the service exposes. And if an image or video is processed through Rekognition, it will not only identify objects, scenes, and activity, it provides a corresponding confidence score for each one of these predictions and customers can use that confidence score to determine the next step in their business workflow. Let's take a closer look at one of those APIs. With Rekognition, customers have the ability to identify thousands of objects in images and videos, as well as detect scene-level information like beach, sunset, outdoors, nature. And this makes it very easy for our customers to filter and curate large image and video libraries. And many objects that are identified in the image, like license plates, are returned with a bounding box. Once these objects have been localized with a bounding box, they can be passed on to another Rekognition API, such as Detect Text, to read the license plate that's actually in the images. Again, our services are meant, these APIs are meant to be composable to build more powerful solutions. Our service has over 2,600 labels, over 200 bounding boxes today, and we're adding another 1,000 new labels and 150 bounding boxes in Q4 of this year. Let's look at facial analysis. Amazon Rekognition doesn't merely detect a face in an image, it provides an analysis of the image. It provides the gender appearance, estimated age predictions as part of its facial analysis. It gives emotion predictions based on appearance, such as disgusted, happy, angry, surprised, confused, calm, sad. It gives attribute predictions for the face. Are they wearing eyeglasses, sunglasses? Do they have a beard or a mustache? And in addition to the attributes I've mentioned, Rekognition Face Analysis offers predictions for 30 facial landmarks such as mouth open, eyes open, pose, smile, brightness, as well as attributes of the image itself and the orientation of the individual's face in the image. Very useful analysis for customers to extract insight. We also do facial comparison, both one-to-one and one-to-many, which is really useful for identity verification, access control, and face search use cases. You might say, well, what is face comparison? Well, it's a process of comparing two images to measure their similarity. Rekognition face comparison will give you a similarity score of whether these two individuals are the same, or we can actually look at a photograph that has a collection of images to see if we can identify the individual that's being submitted with that image in that larger image of faces. You get a bounding box and a confidence score for each face that is detected, and customers can use face comparison to verify a person's identity against their personal photo on file in near real time. We also offer face search, where customers can actually perform a face search against collections that have tens of millions of faces in them. We offer an API called Create Collection API. Customers can drop all of the images that they have into that API. We actually will represent a face with what's called a facial vector. They're a mathematical representation of the face, and the original image cannot be reconstructed from that facial vector. Rekognition will then search through that provided facial collection for visually similar faces throughout your image and video assets. And again, just think of having employees doing identity verification at the door or an entryway before allowing them in. Many useful applications for that API. Illustrated a few here. Customer and student onboarding is actually one of our more popular ones, where facial recognition is used for student ID verification to gain access to an exam or a course. For virtual proctoring, we'll do in-test monitoring to ensure that the same student is in the test for the entirety of the test. We can flag if there's multiple people in taking the test together. We can again also use our APIs to see if there's prohibitive objects, such as books or cell phones while taking a test. And there's other illustrations of all of the use cases that are driving our development along these lines. Very useful use cases for facial comparison technology. Ayala Credit, they provide instant loans to individuals with a verifiable source of income in emerging markets using biometric data, employer information, and mobile phone data. They're now using Amazon Rekognition for identity verification on its mobile application, which has reduced verification errors significantly and given Ayala the ability to scale their business. It now detects and verifies an individual identity in real time without any human intervention, thereby allowing faster access to their products and a much better customer experience. Another one of the APIs is content moderation. We have the broadest and the deepest set of categories for moderating content in the industry. 10 top-level categories and 30 secondary level categories for each one of those top 10 level. And with Rekognition content moderation, our customers can define their own context standards. With granular output, they can reduce the time between content is uploaded by one of their users and when it can be published, all the while ensuring the quality of their customer experience. And they can augment their moderation workflows, not necessarily replacing it outright. Now, one of our customers, Coffee Meets Bagel, it's a dating and social networking website, and they needed to significantly reduce the cost of content moderation while having still very accurate results. Amazon Rekognition made it easy for them to detect and take action on user-generated photos that needed moderation. Using our Detect Moderation Labels API, they can analyze every image that's being uploaded and decide whether to take action on it or allow it to go live. This reduced their need for human intervention by 97%, which lowered their moderation costs significantly by 72%. And it helped them decrease the time required for photo approvals from hours to minutes while maintaining that same high level of accuracy over the content. I'm extremely pleased to announce that we've released a new version of content moderation this week. It has improved the accuracy across all of our top 10 top-level categories without any degradation in performance for customers that were using previous versions. We've increased the subcategories up to 35, an overall benefit for our customers who are using content moderation today. Moving forward, Rekognition also does text detection, and it provides the ability to extract text from images and stored videos, including text in natural scenes such as road signs, license plates, text over objects such as t-shirts or mugs, and text on a screen or caption or news on a television. Our text detection feature returns the detected text label, a rectangular bounding box where the text was found in the image, along with a confidence score for detected words and lines. And customers can leverage this feature as part of their ID verification workflows by extracting text from ID documents, for example. Again, I'm pleased to announce that we've expanded recently the text detection and language support. We now support 7 additional languages. We can now detect text in curved and vertical text and images. Again, these features simply allow our customers to scale and improve their content moderation workflows. I'm also pleased to share that we've recently reduced our prices to help our customers to get better return on their investment for their computer vision workflows, lowering the price for Amazon Rekognition APIs. Amazon Rekognition APIs have a tiered pricing model. We actually lowered the volume limits for triggering these lower prices. Overall, this results in a price reduction of up to 38% for our customers using Rekognition today. But I've had customers say, great, Rekognition has a lot of value, but I have some very special images I need to process. I'm looking for a very special set of custom labels in these images. We have a service that uses auto machine learning. It's called Custom Labels. Customers can find objects and scenes and images that are very unique to their business with a very simple inference API. And it requires as little as 10 images are sufficient for actually training custom labels. Customers will actually select images that represent the objects that they wish to recognize, upload them into the service. There is an annotation wizard that the customers can use. They can provide very simple annotations such as a label or multiple labels for the entire image. They can give a caption for the image that they're showing us, such as outdoor or mountain range in dusk. They can identify objects within multiple objects within the image and give labels for those multiple objects using our console tooling to write or to define the bounding boxes for those objects. So again, multiple ways this service can be used. And again, it requires just a handful of images because behind the scenes, we have used deep learning to build many, many models that recognize objects of all kinds. We take the images that you provide to find the most appropriate model to start with, and you use your images to specialize it and fine-tune it for the task that you're trying to carry out. You might ask, well, what are customers using it for? Well, we've trained custom labels to recognize different automobile parts, so it will actually recognize that this part is in fact a manifold. We can recognize logos. That's actually a turbocharger. We can recognize logos, icons, and symbols that are important that our customer may want to find to see if their logo is being presented in a video or in an image. In this case, we're using logos for AWS services. We may want to annotate comic or animated graphics to find them during video playback, or look at plants and vegetables for disease, or when a vegetable is overripe and should be taken off of the shelf. We can count objects inside of a container to determine when we're low. We can look at documents and decide exactly what type of a document is so it can be processed correctly. We can actually identify damage to a vehicle and assess what needs to be repaired for it. Again, there's a myriad of applications that our customers have brought and successfully used Custom Label to build their own custom computer vision model. Pleased to announce that we've also just released an update to custom labels. In particular, we have a new user experience with 7 APIs to create and manage your image collection, which it makes much simpler as you're uploading and collecting images and tuning your models to manage these images. We've actually added APIs to build and train these models. So instead of having to come to the console, you can now use the AWS SDK to programmatically kick off and train this model from your desktop. This was previously only possible by coming to our console and working with our console. And we've also added new vehicle-specific model detection, vehicle make, and damage detection. Again, we have companies in insurance who are using this to classify what type of vehicle it is, what make, what model, and what was the nature of the damage to help them quickly assess a claim and how much repair work is going to be required. We've had customers say, that's great, but could you really help us detect defects on our manufacturing floor? Just allow us to show you what normal looks like and what an anomaly or a defective product looks like. This is why earlier this year, we launched Amazon Lookout for Vision. Customers are asking if they could use this, and with as few as 30 images, we can train a custom model to detect anomalies. Customers merely need to show us examples of what normal looks like, what anomaly. They can bring a test set to evaluate interactively how well the service is using, give the service feedback and fine-tune it, and then put it into deployment. GE was using human inspection to verify the quality of their medical equipment and to uphold their brand and deliver the best-in-class products. They use Amazon Lookout for Vision to programmatically improve the speed, consistency, and accuracy of detecting product defects across their factories today. We've also had customers say, hey, can you bring computer vision to the edge? We have very low latency requirements. We have to operate in real time. They might have bandwidth constraints, cost constraints, or they must be able to operate always, no matter whether they're connected to the internet or not. Just recently, we launched AWS Panorama Appliance. It's a fully managed edge computer vision platform. It uses your existing IP cameras. It can be set up in minutes. It's IP62 ruggedized, NVIDIA Xavier GPU, AdLink, Access Communication, Basler, Stanley Security, and others are all building Panorama-enabled cameras and appliances. And the appliance can handle multiple camera streams in parallel, so it can be supporting multiple cameras. In each one of those camera streams, you can have multiple computer vision models running on it. Not only do we offer computer vision models that you can run on Panorama, we have an SDK that customers and partners can use to build their custom computer vision models for processing at the edge. And we have a myriad of customers using it today, like the Cincinnati Airport. They will detect congestion, possibly a traffic accident, be able to dispatch help in real time. Tyson Foods automatically counts the number of chicken nuggets going into a package. Again, there's a range of applications where computer vision being brought to the edge is allowing our customers to innovate and disrupt. But there's another type of computer vision I want to talk about. It's a very key application. It's document processing. Documents exist everywhere within an organization, and they're often at the heart of business-critical workflows, whether you're a mortgage lender processing an entire mortgage packet, or an insurance company that has to process millions of claims. And many of these companies are still relying on legacy approaches, such as optical character recognition, which is brittle, it's known to have errors, manual procedures, which again are expensive and very time consuming. And in some cases, as a workaround, customers have built templates or rule-based document processing. All of these have limitations, which is why we introduced Amazon Textract, which uses deep learning for computer vision to help customers extract printed text, handwriting, data, and structure from virtually any type of document. We offer industry-leading OCR capabilities with the highest accuracy in the industry, and we go well beyond OCR. We can look at printed or handwritten documents. We can look inside of forms, inside of tables, invoices, receipts, identity documents, and more. Let's look at an example of how a customer is using it. Black Knight is a premier provider of high-performance software and analytics in the U.S. mortgage industry, with solutions spanning from loan origination all the way through loan servicing. Again, always processing documents throughout. And loan documents are very complex packages, anywhere between 50 and 500 pages. And at the scale at which Black Knight operates, any inefficiencies in this workflow or processing workflow impairs their customer and their business. Today, they leverage Amazon Textract and other AWS services, and they've built a purpose-built solution to quickly and accurately extract information from loan documents. The result, they have significantly increased their underwriter efficiency, boosted their overall business productivity, enabling them to delight their end customers. Earlier this year, in an effort to continuously look for ways to invent on behalf of our customers, we found another document type which was extremely difficult to extract information from, the receipt. And they're tricky because they don't have any set layout from one vendor to the next. There's no particular style or pattern. Each vendor essentially has their own format. Receipts can be crumpled, maybe even have a stain on them, which is why we launched Analyze Expense, which uses deep learning to learn the inherent structure of a receipt, to be able to extract the information and learn about the structure and where to find information within a receipt. Another class of documents that we launched this year was the ability to process identity documents, such as a driver's license, passport, state IDs. And again, the format can vary substantially by country, county, state, and others. We launched Analyze ID just right before reInvent. It automatically extracts specific information of interest, such as date of expiration, date of birth, issuing state, and additional fields of interest quickly and accurately. We've made several investments over the course of the year to continue to raise the bar on accuracy for our existing APIs while lowering the costs and reducing latency. We launched model quality updates throughout the year for table extraction, OCR, forms, and our handwriting products. And we've made Textract faster. Customers have reported a 50% reduction in processing times for our asynchronous API. And last but not least, we lowered our price up to 32% in several AWS regions around the world. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to Peter Silvio, CTO at Shutterstock AI, to talk about our shared vision.
Thank you, Roger, and thank you, everyone. I'm super excited to be part of Amazon reInvent. This is a story of innovation and collaboration in a highly competitive industry. As part of my role as CTO is not only to identify opportunities of technological growth for our company, but also to reflect on our core values in the models we build that make sure we account for full diversity in the world we live in. We had a vision to optimize AI systems and to work through the challenges that come with instantaneously organizing and navigating our mammoth catalog of unstructured data like images, video, 3D, and music, and ensure that our process was accountable and authentic. If a person was spending 1 second on each image in our 400 million asset library, it would take 11.5 years. Now we're able to serve that content in nanoseconds while accommodating user preferences. Let me first take a step back and introduce you to Shutterstock AI. This is a new initiative with data at its heart of its mission. With Shutterstock AI, we're leveraging the expertise in content and creative process to develop what we call proprietary creative intelligence. We created Shutterstock AI to help our customers make smarter decisions about creative content and campaigns by using data and insights. We also acquired 3 leading AI companies in the space that have enabled us to grow our AI and data science division and dramatically accelerate speed to market. Currently, Shutterstock AI offers solutions in key areas of computer vision, predictive performance, content recommendations, and creative workflows for smart collaboration. We have long been using AI technology to support our own internal processes. For example, computer vision technology helps us efficiently review the hundreds of thousands of images and video clips that are submitted by our global network of contributors every day. And now we're making more of our AI technology and services commercially available to companies. We're also developing predictive performance solutions that help predict which content will perform before you launch a campaign. The global computer vision market size has a value of $11.32 billion in 2020 and is expected to expand at a compounded annual rate of 7.3% from 2021 to 2028. That's huge growth. Computer vision is the process of training machine learning models to recognize visual images. It's hard to think of an industry that is not leveraging computer vision today or will need to in the future. From medicine to e-commerce to home appliances, computer vision is truly everywhere, and it is changing the way we work, shop, bank, and even drive. We're able to tap our massive content library of 400 million images, videos, and 3D models, and all the metadata associated with it, and help AI researchers train models for uses like categorization, visually similar images, and products in e-commerce. At Shutterstock, we come to computer vision as experts in visual content and the creative process. Over the last couple of decades, we have created one of the largest content marketplaces in the world. With over 400 million images, video clips, music tracks, and 3D models, the content provides a treasure trove of assets and metadata that can be used to power machine learning and computer vision models. Amazon Rekognition brings technical experts who provided solutions to help Shutterstock improve our semantic labeling, content moderation, and data delivery and distribution. Both orgs are committed to the data quality and diversity, ethical standards, and making AI more accessible and scalable for companies of every size. We're bringing our strengths together to advance our own products and staying ahead of regulatory curve. There are huge potentials when businesses of our respective strengths partner in the way we have to support a rapidly growing industry. So by now, I've hopefully convinced you that computer vision is everywhere, and I've shown you that it's an increasingly important part of the work we do at Shutterstock. With computer vision becoming so ubiquitous, it's important we get it right. Key areas of focus are the way we interpret content, how we organize, and the efficient performance we can drive by leveraging our large-scale catalog. With AWS Rekognition, we can now efficiently add semantic layering and meaning on top of our existing user-generated metadata. Our rich metadata collectively represents several aspects of our assets. For instance, metadata describes the style, the context, the emotions, and actual content of the asset. Let's take the image here as an example. The metadata of this image can use keywords like freedom, which represents the feeling the image triggers, instead of the actual object in the image would be person, sky, cloud. With Amazon Rekognition labels, we can naturally distinguish between the keywords represented in the content from those which cover other aspects of an asset. As we evolve our platform, we take great care to ensure that we are effectively representing diverse people, places, concepts, and cultural contexts in our content datasets by sourcing fresh content from millions of artists around the world. With diversity also comes complexity of bridging meaning across languages and cultures. With Amazon Rekognition, we create a unifying fabric of universal meaning, which allows us to exchange across cultural boundaries. Large catalogs of unstructured data like image, video, 3D, and music demand machine-readable taxonomy, labels that provide AI systems the ability to organize and navigate content instantaneously. As mentioned earlier, if we had a person spending 1 second on each image in our 400 million asset catalog, it would take 11.5 years. We serve that content in nanoseconds, accommodating user preferences such as color, categories, orientation, size, people, and other aspects. And standardized labels are augmented for supreme customer experience. Computational efficiency is critical to provide leading user experience while keeping costs down and maintaining competitiveness in the market. In partnership with Amazon Rekognition, we have been able to reach agility and hyperscale. For instance, Amazon was able to serve over 1.6 billion API calls. We have been able to enhance content discoverability to explore from general to very specific concepts, and we have augmented our specialized content curation to reach new levels of efficiency. There's a lot more work to be done, but we think that by combining the different domain expertise of an artist with a data scientist, we can contribute something really unique and powerful to the field of computer vision. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Peter. Today we've looked at select AWS computer vision services, along with the use cases that customers are solving with these services. You've heard from Peter on how Shutterstock AI is leveraging our services, and we continue to enhance these services, as I've highlighted throughout my presentation, working backwards from the business objectives our customers wish to achieve. This focus on our customers, working backwards from their requirements to ensure that they're successful, together with our relentless efforts to ensure we have the most accurate computer vision in the industry, this is why we have more than 100,000 customers using AWS for machine learning today. I look forward to talking with you about how we might help your company. Thank you.